Hello everybody, welcome back. Good morning. Let's have a look at the charts. Obviously we're going to start with Ethereum because Ethereum stole the show. Ethereum's been pumping like a beast. Who would have thought it? Well, to be honest, I thought it. To be honest with you, I did. Because what we're seeing here is a symmetrical triangle, a giant one from the last bull market down to the bear market throughout this current bull market. And now we've got a breakout, and the breakout trade gives you a measured move all the way up to a maximum target of around about 7,000-ish, just above 7,000. And so I imagine that's where we're going to try and head to. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's definitely going to go, but the measured move gives you that as the top target. First of all, we need to try and take out our previous all-time high, which is ever so slightly above where we are right now, a couple of $100 away from where we are. So really, we might as well call it it's already achieved it, but I know that doesn't count for much. So let's bring it down to some smaller time frames, and we'll see if it's got the power to do that maybe today. And to be honest with you, I don't think it does. I think you're going to have a little bit of a rest first. Bearish divergence on the money flow index all the way down here, actually. And then, actually, I'm actually thinking about it now. It's that the money flow index is kind of more or less reset, but the RSI is given bearish divergence still. So I don't know. It's hit and miss, really. It is kind of 50-50. It could go either way in the short term. I'm not really sold in either direction. And the bearish divergence on the daily is now cancelled out, actually. So the daily still seems relatively capable of breaking through the new all-time to go to a new all-time high. So I'm all right with that, actually. So to be honest, it's still a roll of the dice, but the high-term time frame suggests further upside. Now let's have a look at somebody else. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. Rejected from the top of that range once again with bearish divergence. So there's your Bitcoin rejection at $120,000. However, Chiku span above price action, conversion baseline cross above the cloud, and the price action above the cloud. That's the three components we were talking about yesterday that should give us a trend signal. Well, I mean, that is a trend signal. So basically, I'm looking for this to trend up now. That's basically what that setup suggests. It's a little tight, and a close, we've got to wait for the daily to actually close, but a close below this candle body over here, $118,000, that would cancel it out. But we've had some good responses from these trend signals recently. Obviously, the last big one that comes to mind was on Bitcoin itself, which is the trend signal on the weekly that took place around this area. Price being basically 105. And continuation from there. And look, you might think, oh, it's 105,000 all the way to, that's nothing. It's not about how much it does, it's about which direction it goes after the setup. So, I mean, and again, it could all just be a load of hocus pocus, but that's basically what it says at the moment. Now, tonight is a live stream for Patreon members, so if you want to join the Patreon, there's links in the description below. You can, talk about all the altcoins and all the charts you want. We'll be doing that tonight, as we always do, and on Sunday again. So yeah, feel free to join us. £7.50 a month is not much to ask, and you get to watch all the altcoins get talked about. It was a busy one last week. Everybody wanted their altcoin looking at, or at least 3 per person. If we try and keep it down to 3 per person, that would be nice. Otherwise, we'll be there all night. Speaking of altcoins then, so we've done Ethereum, we've done Bitcoin. Let's have a little look at the Total 2. Total 2 is working out exactly as we expected, which was, to trend up. And it looks like we've made, or tried to make, a new local high. So the candle body there, we basically double topped the previous high. It's not the all-time high, it's the previous local high. It's no big deal. I'll take a bit of that. What we're looking for now, continuation? Yeah, basically. So, again, the same sort of thing going on here with the Ichimoku cloud. Trend signals, looking to continue to trend up. Bearish divergence on the 4 hourly, so you might see a little pullback, 1.56 trillion, and then continuation from there. Let's have a look at stocks, not SPX, but the US 500. Which direction have you decided to go this morning? Well, it's basically perfectly unchanged at the moment. So it's still early. It's definitely still early. And there was a bit of a response from yesterday's CPI, which was a little up, a little down. Do you know what I mean? But generally, I think what's happening is that the markets are trending in the direction that they're supposed to trend in, as directed by myself. And I think this is the direction we're going to go in for a little bit longer. You know, I don't see any reason to doubt it. The dominance chart still falling apart exactly as expected. Total 2 moving up exactly as expected. Bitcoin trending up as expected. Altcoins as a whole, as a group, via total 2 moving up as expected. So everything's working out as expected. And look, throughout all the ups and downs and the bumpy journeys and, you know, the sideways is and the consolidations is and all of these sort of things, I'd like just a little bit of reflection on the fact that I was pretty adamant the entire time that this was going to happen. And here we are, it's happening. And, you know, we've enjoyed this one, we enjoyed this one, and now we're enjoying this one. We're enjoying it all. And the amount of hate that I got saying, "Oh, you're wrong, this, that, and the other." Somebody said, right, no, stick to your convictions, stick to your plan. I stuck to my plan. My plan is working out nicely. Hopefully, it will continue to work out nicely for the next few weeks, and then I'll take a step back from crypto and have a little rest and see basically whether or not there's more to go in this market. But I won't be deciding instantaneously. I will be taking a bit of a rest from the sidelines. Remember, it's a 24-hour market, never stops. And so if I decide to exit for a little bit in September and maybe give it a month before I do anything, that's all part of the plan. Right, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.